to a lot of youth in different cities that you stopped at. What's your take, because I think you've been early on this, on, 21 Savage had the streets movement that he kind of has been promoting these last...
I don't even fuck about that. I am the streets, I love the streets, I come from the streets. I ain't doing all that pussy ass shit.
Your bitch ass up. Stop saying my motherfucking name. Don't think cause a nigga trying to change that, man.
You just heard 21 Savage go off after being called out, the great slime himself. And it looks like this dumb beef isn't ending anytime soon. See, we're about to bread down everything in this beef and how things are escalating fast to the point bodies might start dropping soon. So, what the hell happened? Let me break it down for you, because this story got layers. Alright, so to understand how we got here, we got to rewind a bit. 21 Savage been on this whole underscore the streets campaign for a minute now, right? My man's been traveling to different cities, talking to the youth, trying to get them to leave the gang life alone. On the surface, that sounds positive. Can't nobody hate on trying to save lives type underscore, but here's where it gets tricky. When you come from where 21 come from, East Atlanta Zone 6. Real street underscore, and then you start telling other people to leave the streets alone. Some people going to feel a way about that. It's like, who gave you the authority to tell the next man how to move? You feel me? Now 21. He been in these streets for real. This ain't no cap. My man got caught lacking on his 21st birthday. Took 6 shots and his mans didn't make it. That's where the name 21 Savage really came from. It ain't just Nikachi rap name. It's memorial underscore, so when he talk about leaving the streets alone, he's speaking from experience. He done seen too much, lost too many people, and now he trying to break the cycle. Let me give y'all some more context on where 21 really coming from with this. See, back in 2013 when he was still running the streets heavy, he lost his brother Quantas to gun violence. Then he lost his friend Larry to the streets. These wasn't just random people. These was his day ones. People he grew up with. People he loved. When you experience that type of loss repeatedly, it changes you. 21 talks about how he used to glorify the street underscore in his early music. Songs like No Heart and X was straight up about that life. No filter. But as he got older, made more money, and lost more people, he started seeing the bigger picture. He realized he had a responsibility, especially to the young kids who look up to him. The underscore the streets movement didn't just pop up overnight. This been building for the last couple years. It really started gaining momentum when 21 began doing more community work in Atlanta. He started the 21 Savage bank account where he was teaching financial literacy to kids in the hood. Then he launched the Leading by Example Foundation, focusing on helping youth in underserved communities. But what really set this off was when he started being more vocal about it in interviews and on social media. He wasn't just doing the work quietly no more. He was actively telling young people that the gang life ain't it. He was saying, fuck your set, underscore your block. That underscore don't matter in the grand scheme of things. Now, when you're doing that, you got to understand how that lands in different cities. In Atlanta, where 21 from, people mostly received it well because they seen his journey. They know he really lived it, so they respect his right to speak on it. But when he took this message to other cities, Chicago, Louisiana, California, the reception was mixed. Some people appreciated it. Oggs who done been through the wars and lost everything understood what he was trying to do. But younger cats, the ones still active in the streets, they felt like he was invalidating their struggle. Like he was saying their life don't matter or what they going through ain't real. Now, for y'all who don't know, YB and 21 actually had history before all this. They was cool, respected each other's music. Noish, back in 2019, 2020, you could see them showing love on social media. No beef, no tension. They was two of the biggest rappers in the game doing their thing separately, but with mutual respect. But there's something else y'all need to understand. And when the whole Durk and YoungBoy situation was going on, 21 was seen taking Durk's side. That already created some tension in the background, even if they wasn't going at each other directly. Let me break down that situation real quick because it's important to understanding how we got here. The Durk and YB beef is one of the most serious beefs in hip-hop right now. It ain't just rap. People really died behind this underscore when Von got killed in Atlanta. That intensified everything. Rapper King Von and his group were at Opium nightclub before making their way here to Monaco Hookah Lounge. Then to the parking lot where chaos ensued. And 21, being from Atlanta and being cool with Durk, was in a tough position. Now 21 never directly dissed YB or got involved in the beef publicly, but there was subtle things being seen with Durk at certain times, showing support on social media to YB in his camp that could have been seen as picking a side, even if 21 wasn't trying to make it about that. So, you got that underlying tension already brewing. Then, 21 comes out with this underscore, the streets movement. And to someone like Y who's still very much in the thick of everything, that might feel like some hypocritical underscore, like you was just supporting one side of a street beef. Now, you're talking about underscore the streets. Now, let's talk about where YoungBoy coming from because it's important to understand both sides of this. YB is 25 years old and he been through more underscore than most people go through in a lifetime. He done been shot at, stabbed, arrested multiple times, lost friends, and been fighting cases for years. For him, the streets ain't something he can just walk away from, even if he wanted to. He's still got pending situations, people still trying to kill him, and he's still got loyalty to his people who in the trenches. When you in that position, somebody telling you, fuck the streets, can feel dismissive of your reality. It's like easy for you to say when you already made it out and you ain't got the same problems I got. Plus, YB never been the type to switch up his message or try to be politically correct. He always kept it 100 about where he at and what he about. That's part of why his fans love him. He don't sugarcoat nothing. So, when Y gets asked about 21's The Streets movement in this recent interview, you can tell he already got some feelings brewing. The interviewer brings it up talking about how 21 been early on this message, trying to reach the youth and all that. And YB, man, he did not hold back. I don't give a underscore about that. YB said straight up, I am the streets, I love the streets. I come from the streets. I ain't on all that ass, yo. When I first heard that, I was like, damn, because that's not just disagreeing with the message. That's a direct shot at 21's character. He basically called the whole movement ass. That's personal, gang. But YB didn't stop there. He kept going saying people confused about what the message really is. He talking about how it ain't about not protecting yourself. But at the same time he making it clear he ain't with what 21 promoting. Then he hit them with this line that really set it off. That's the narrative somebody pushing right now and I'm pushing my narrative type underscore translation. Underscore what 21 talking about, I'm doing me. The way YB said it with that emphasis on my narrative let everybody know this wasn't just a casual disagreement. This was him drawing a line in the sand saying he fundamentally opposed to what 21 promoting. Now when that interview dropped, the internet went crazy. People was picking sides immediately. Some was like YB speaking facts. You can't tell people how to live. Others was defending 21, like nah, he just trying to save lives. What's wrong with that? Twitter was going insane. You had Y fans saying 21 was fake, woke, and only doing the positive underscore for image. You had 21 fans saying YB was promoting violence and negativity. It got toxic real quick, as these things always do. But here's what really got everybody's attention. The timing of all this, because just when people thought it couldn't get no messier, 21 Savage decided to respond. Now, this is where Ru got to pay close attention because what 21 said wasn't directly at YB. But the streets knew better. Let me paint the picture for y'all. 21 hopped on social media looking heated. My man was in his feelings for real, and he started going off about people saying his name and talking about the streets. Now, technically he was responding to Fevio Foreign who had been dissing him, but the timing right after YB's comments. Come on now, y'all know how this works. See, Fevio had made some comments about 21 earlier, saying he wasn't really street like that and questioning his credibility, but that was relatively minor compared to what YB said. So when 21 came out with this response, people immediately started connecting dots. 21 started off strong. Stop saying my name. Don't think because A underscore trying to change that. Man, y'all sit down somewhere, man. Straight up, you could hear the frustration in his voice. This is somebody who really trying to do something positive and getting criticized for it from multiple angles. But then, he really got into it. And this is where you could tell he was addressing more than just one person. He said, if you walking around with a 38, don't say nothing to him about the streets. The conversation really started to shift when one specific line caught everyone's attention. If you're 35 or older and you've been trying to rap since you were a teenager, don't talk to him about the streets. On the surface, that statement felt like a general warning, but many listeners immediately felt it could apply to certain artists currently speaking on street culture without truly living it anymore. The line set the tone, but what followed is what made people stop and listen. Set the tone, but what followed is what made people stop and listen. 21 Savage then said something that instantly made the room tense. He called out how people constantly use the word savage in a casual, almost performative way, reminding everyone that this isn't just branding or internet talk. He pointed out that he has actually shot someone in real life, and that people already know this. His message was clear. Don't confuse his current growth and positive direction with weakness. Just because he's choosing a better path now doesn't erase who he was or what he's capable of. He went even further, warning people not to get too comfortable speaking on him just because he's no longer promoting non-stop violence. His point was direct and unapologetic. Growth does not mean softness. Evolution does not mean surrender. He made it clear that there are still consequences for disrespect, and that pretending otherwise is dangerous. What truly separated this rant from typical hip-hop back and forth was when 21 explained why he feels the way he does. He said that many of the people talking about street life have never actually lived it themselves. They reference what their friends did, what their neighborhood did, or what people around them were involved in, but they personally never carried that weight. According to him, that's the real disconnect. He emphasized that there's a massive difference between being from the streets and being in the streets. Knowing people who committed violence is not the same as personally experiencing loss, trauma, and survival firsthand. He spoke about pain in a way that only someone who has buried close friends can. When he said, "Y'all haven't cried enough, y'all haven't lost enough," it wasn't trash talk, it was grief speaking. From there, his message turned into a reality check. He told certain rappers to stay in their lane and focus on music, because they're not qualified to speak on the emotional and psychological weight of street life. He wasn't attacking artistry, he was attacking false authority. According to 21, some voices are loud, but they lack lived experience. He also called out what he described as remote location gangsters, people who talk tough online while being far removed from any real danger. He mocked those who claim street credibility from safe, distant locations, pointing out that many haven't been seen in their own neighborhoods for decades. This was a direct shot at internet posturing and performative toughness. Another key point came when 21 questioned how someone from an entirely different state could define who he is or how he should move. Street politics, he argued, are deeply local. Atlanta and Baton Rouge operate under different rules, histories, and realities. Still, despite those differences, he acknowledged that pain, loss, and violence are universal. Death doesn't change based on geography. At a deeper level, this conflict represents something larger within hip-hop culture. It highlights the tension between authenticity and evolution. Hip-hop has always prized keeping it real. So when someone known for raw street credibility begins promoting change, it creates confusion. Some people question whether that evolution is genuine or strategic. Others wonder if growth automatically invalidates past authenticity. On the opposite side, artists like NBA YoungBoy represent unwavering loyalty to where they come from. They refuse to soften their image, even after achieving fame and wealth. That stance, too, feels authentic to many fans. It reflects pride, loyalty, and survival rather than image management. The hypocrisy accusations toward 21 are unavoidable. Critics point out that he still raps about violence at times, still associates with street figures, and still engages in street-related conflicts. How can someone denounce the streets while still benefiting from their imagery? 21 addressed this head-on. He didn't claim perfection. He said he is trying to change, trying to save lives, and trying to be part of the solution. Change, he implied, is a process, not a switch. The harsh reality is that while artists argue online, young people in real neighborhoods continue to die every day. That's the part that often gets lost. Regardless of delivery or tone, 21's message is ultimately about survival. When he says forget the streets, he's rejecting a system that repeatedly funnels young people into prison or early graves. At the same time, YoungBoy's perspective also carries weight. It's easier to reject street life after you've escaped it financially. For those still trapped without options, the streets aren't a choice, they're survival. When he says he loves the streets, he's expressing love for his people, not violence. That the tragedy is that there should be space for both perspectives. One side can advocate for change without dismissing current realities, and the other can honor roots while acknowledging the cost of violence. But in today's hip-hop climate, nuance is rare. Everything becomes sides, beef, and escalation. Right now, the situation is unresolved. Both artists have spoken their truth. The real danger is if this turns physical, repeating a cycle that both sides claim to want to end. The best outcome would be de-escalation, not because either side is wrong, but because neither has anything to gain from destruction. In the end, this isn't just about 21 Savage or NBA YoungBoy. It's about what hip-hop chooses to value moving forward: growth, honesty, survival, or ego. The conversation itself matters, even if agreement doesn't come easily. So the question remains: is 21 right for pushing people away from the streets, or is YoungBoy right that no one has the authority to tell another man how to live? And more importantly, can hip-hop ever learn to hold both truths at the same time? Let me know what you think.